Can Vulcan Forged PYR just go sideways and sideways and sideways until it finally explodes in a huge way like many of the best altcoins in the history of cryptocurrency? Can PYR repeat what the best had already done? In this video we're gonna discuss that, the tokenomics and the volume and just everything, like how much is PYR growing in the overall ecosystem that it has, and what is the potential that PYR can have in the next bull run. So welcome back guys once again to AR7 Crypto channel. We're going to discuss today PYR Vulcan Forged. So what exactly am I talking about the sideways to an explosion, right? So one of the things that impressed me in a huge way about PYR is, look guys, this is dating back to May 11th, okay? Like the time when PYR collapsed in a big way from the prices that it had before. Was like at the Terra Luna collapse, and you see since then we're approximately in the same range from 263 to 523, and soon you'll understand why it's like extremely impressive, extremely impressive for a coin that is number 300 on CoinGecko. Okay, let's have a look on some coins that are in the top 20 right now on CoinGecko, and let's compare them to PYR. Okay, so follow up. Okay, let's have a look. PYR, as we've mentioned, in the same range from like May or June. Let's have a look what happened, for example, with Cardano, ADA, okay, like top 10 coin. Cardano ADA, it's a nice coin, but look, in May, it went to 47 cents, and since then, you see, actually, it broke the range it was before, okay, in November and December, and it's actually at a lower prices and in a lower range since then, okay? It went to 48 cents and then to 24 cents. It was actually cut in half, okay? So in that regard, from May 2022, from the Terra Luna collapse until today, PYR, a coin that is number 300, outperformed Cardano. Okay, and Cardano is not the only one. Let's have a look on Avalanche, the top 20 coin, one of the major L1 coins in the world. Okay, so this is May. Okay, it went to 25, and as you can see, in June it even went lower, and the absolute lowest was $10. So from 25, 24 to $10, it was cut even more than Cardano. Last one, let's have a look on Solana, one of the biggest success stories of the last bull run. And in May, it went to $40, and as some of you guys know, it went to $8 in December. Okay, so Cardano, Avalanche, Solana underperformed in a huge way PYR. Okay, since May, since PYR collapsed. So that's why the title of the video today is, can it really just keep going sideways and then explode in a huge way? And why are we talking about that? Because this is like a sort of a common thing in crypto that happens, especially sometimes in the bull runs, but especially like in the bear markets, until it finally explodes in a big way. Now let me show you really some of the prime examples that I personally remember from past big coins that like were sideways for like years, or you know, at least 1 year, and then exploded in a big way. And just for reference, so that you understand, today as I'm recording this video at the end of March 2023, we're almost a year in the same range for PYR. Okay, so let's have a look on some success stories from the past, from the crypto bull runs. Okay, so Matic, for example, you know, it's one of the biggest coins right now in the world, and look, it was just in the same range for like from May 2019 until January 2021, okay, like a year and a half. It was between approximately, here it kind of overcorrected, but it was generally between 1 cent to 2-3 cents, okay, sometimes also overperformed like to the 4 cents, but generally from 1 to 3 cents for like a year and a half, and then massive explosion over here. And look at that, how many percents did it do? Almost 20,000%, 16,000%, depends where do you take it from. Okay, so generally it did like 100x, okay, because the prices here were like $2.50, okay, and it went from like 1.6 cents, from 2 cents to $2, 100x by one of the largest coins right now in the world. That's Matic. Chiliz is another example which was very similar. Okay, Chiliz was also like approximately in this range from like 0.607 up to approximately 1.617. Again, from when? From basically from when it launched, from September 2019. Again, similarly, very close to the beginning of the last bull run in 2021. you see it was like, again, approximately a year and a half in this range. Then you see it kind of established itself strongly here, and the volume increased in a big way in Chile's case, and then bam, it just did like, you know, like from January to March, literally like 2 months, even a little bit less than 2 months, it did like almost 5,000%. Okay, it went from like 2 cents to 80, let me show it better, to 80 something cents for Chile's. Last example, guys, is Shiba Inu. Okay, look at that. Like Shiba Inu was also in the bull run. This is now an example in the bull run, not from the bear market to the bull run, but even in the bull run, you see it was like in the same range for a long time. Okay, for almost a year, and then bam, an explosion, like a 10x. Okay, from 0.7 to like the next kind of 7, 8. Okay, so this is something that happens a lot in crypto. Okay, so when you see coins that just establish themselves in a particular range, just like, let's go back here to PYR, just like PYR did, okay, once you see coins that establish themselves here, okay, that's one. And two, again, super important, even actually outperform in the sense of not keep correcting even further big coins like Cardano, Avalanche, and Solana. That's a huge signal for me to, at the very least, add it to the watch list, which I definitely did, and PYR is definitely gonna be very strongly in my personal watch list in terms of converting some of my Bitcoin back to altcoins like PYR. So none of this is financial advice, I'm just sharing with you what I'm doing. So as we've mentioned, and one more thing that I actually have to mention here, okay, is that all of the things that we're discussing here when it comes to being in this range, okay, over a year and all that, look, I mean, it can overcorrect or overperform. You know, it can pop its head back to like $6 and then come back, as we've seen with Matic, for example, with a 1 cent to 4 cents, right? Or like with the COVID dump, right? Like Matic actually corrected to like 0.6 cents. So it is also possible that PYR will get to like, let's say $2 or even under $2, but okay, in both cases to the downside and upside, if it does so before like the big bull run, okay, it has to come back very quickly, just like Matic did, okay? Like spend a maximum 1 month, okay, below this range of 263 or above, okay? For all of this, what we're discussing here, for all of this to not be invalidated, okay? Because like if PYR collapses and then like stays at $1 for like 3, 4, 5 months or so, all of this, what we discussed here, is invalidated. But as long as we will continue being here, okay, all the way to like, let's say 2024, and maybe pop our head a little bit here, pop our head a little bit here, and then you'll start having a massive upside. That's gonna be the big opportunity. So that's when it comes to the price action. That's when it comes to why PYR, just I cannot stop kind of looking at the PYR price chart. But if you guys are new to the channel, normally I also have to check tokenomics as well, because price action is very important, but especially in gaming coins, okay, and just generally in many newer coins in crypto, you have to check tokenomics, okay, because there are still so many token unlocks, and just most of the gaming coins that like collapsed in a big way from the last bull run, they just had tokenomics, they just had so many unlocks, and they just had so many investors like receiving unlocks from the pre-sale prices that were a lot lower, and they just dump, and some of them just even if the prices were lower than the IDO prices, they were still dumping, because you know many people lost a lot of money, so they just want to get whatever they can. So it's extremely important. We have to check tokenomics too, on-chain stuff and volume stuff, okay? So let's start from the volume, okay? On the volume side, okay, so this is Binance. So, you know, obviously the largest exchange generally in the world, centralized exchange, and also, of course, for PYR, okay? As you can see, non-surprisingly, for PYR, the absolute largest volume is on PYR USDT, okay? So that's the most important to me. So when we look at the volume here, let's actually go to like a weekly and then maybe monthly, okay? So, excuse me, what I like about the volume, okay, a big plus, okay, when it comes to the volume, let's actually see it a little bit better, okay, is you see like the volume, there's actually not that much change even since the times when the prices were like at the $30-40 or so. Maybe let me actually move myself a little bit more here. You see like the prices here are approximately the same, okay, excuse me, the volume. What I'm saying is the volume is approximately the same, but the prices are a lot lower. We're like literally 10x less from the $30-40 to the $3-4 we're at now. And you see the volume is not exceptionally different from what it was actually way back here in December of 2021. Okay, so when it comes to the volume particularly, so I like that the price is 10x lower, but the volume is more or less in the same region. Okay, so when it comes to the volume, big plus for PYR. I like what I see. Now guys, let's have a look also on chain, okay, on Etherscan. Now we don't have the information before December 2021 because they migrated, I believe they were first on BSC chain and then they redeployed to Ethereum and Matic. So anyway, we have information from 2021, but as you actually can see, like the volume in the beginning of 2021 was actually so low on PYR that probably there were very few transactions. So it's not gonna be that relevant anyway. So yeah, once it finally loads, we'll be able to see that. So you see, like here, the volume was like 6 figures, okay, like probably no transactions at all. So that's okay, not really seeing anything before December 2021. But anyway, the main thing that I want to check, okay, why am I even checking, why am I even here on Etherscan, what exactly do I want to see here for PYR to make sure that they keep growing, okay? I just want to see that we're having more transactions, more stuff going on chain, while the price is going lower, okay? Because it means that the price is extremely more undervalued, at least in comparison to what it was in the bull run, when it was like at a $40, $30, $20, okay? So the information we have here is like from, as we said, from the beginning of 2022, but as you can see, in most of 2022, it looks like the total uniques, okay? What I'm seeing here is the total amount of unique wallets that transacted in a particular day on the Ethereum blockchain for PYR token, okay? So the amounts were normally like in the, you know, in the dozens. Like normally it was almost not really going to the 3 figures amounts, okay? So it was in the dozens, okay? Then we had something here, I don't know exactly what happened here. It was close to the FTX collapse, maybe that's what that was related to that. But anyway, you know, we've had a major spike here, but we shouldn't really kind of take it too seriously. But let's have a look here. In 2023, it looks like we actually never been in the dozens for wallets, okay? Like we're actually establishing ourselves here at the 3 figures, okay? While in 2022, we were at the dozens, okay? So we're approximately 10x or maybe 5 to 10x more transactions on chain, on the Ethereum blockchain for PYR, okay? So we definitely have more fundamental stuff going on chain, on the Ethereum chain for PYR. That's another big bonus, okay? So far I'm super happy, okay? So the volume is approximately the same as the prices were $40, $30 on chain. We're at 3 figures now of unique wallets that are sending something related to PYR in comparison to the 2 figures in 2022. Okay, so like the price doesn't reflect that at all yet. Okay, so like 2022, right? We were just talking about like the sideways action, right? Like we have $3 to $4 here from 2022. It's 2023 now. We have like 5x, 10x more on-chain stuff going on, but the price is still the same. So, you know, this is exactly the type of stuff I'm looking for. So none of this is financial advice, but if you guys appreciate the research we're doing here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for even more videos, and comment if you have anything to say. So we've mentioned that. That's fantastic. Now, the last thing, guys, we need to check the tokenomics, okay? And then we'll finally go to the price prediction section. So in the tokenomics, actually, it was a little bit more difficult for me to find anything kind of if you saw my other videos, normally I find information that is kind of more visual and kind of a little bit better. But anyway, we'll do our best with what we have. So we're here on the Vulcan Forged official website on the docs, the token unlock schedule for PYR. Okay, so that was probably done a little bit earlier, okay, because like on CoinGecko, we already have here 23 million circulating supply, and when they wrote this article, it was just under 19 million. But anyway, the main thing we need to understand, okay, so the people who stake, okay, they receive, they're gonna receive over 4 years, to my understanding that's from January 1st, 2022, okay, they're receiving this amount of PYR every single month, okay, so that's like in a year it was like 2.8 million PYR tokens in 1 year, okay? And they looks like they receive it every first of the month. Then the team is gonna start receiving amounts from actually around the Bitcoin halving, okay? It's gonna be 40k PYR per month at current prices. Like, you know, let's say if the price now is $4, it's like 160,000 USD, okay, value in a single month. That's pretty good. Like, that's pretty actually nothing, because like the liquidity, okay, here is like in the hundreds of thousands, okay? So like to move the price on Binance, okay, for example, if you want to move the price on PYR, you have to sell like 100k, right? And I'm assuming the team is not gonna like dump in large amounts all at once. So bottom line, the good thing is that when it comes to the team allowance here, if they're gonna dump at all, it's not really gonna affect the price in a big way. Then we have this ICO circulating supply, and this thing here is slightly actually confusing to me. So if anyone from whoever watches this video, if you're from the team or if you're from investor, if you have information, I want to understand here, because I'm slightly confused, okay? Because when they did this document, okay, they show that right now, or back then, the circulation was 19 million, a little bit less, and then they show ICO circulating supply 20 million, already circulating all of that. But like here it's still under 19 million, and here it's 20 million. So again, if anyone has any information on that, that would be strongly appreciated. Please leave a comment on that. Yeah, and then they have like this big reserve, which is gonna be unlocked, I'm assuming, in like 2025, 2026 or so. So bottom line, guys, when it comes to the tokenomics, okay, like depends what they're gonna do here with the reserve, you know, like again, even actually Ethereum, right, Vitalik and Ethereum in the peak of the January 2018 bull run, they actually dumped. So, you know, it's possible PYR, especially if it will be in a major bull run, maybe, you know, they'd want to liquidate to have more money for operations and stuff. So, you know, we'll have to look on that, okay? This is like a big chunk of PYR tokens, even if it's at the team's disposal. Again, they're probably gonna be smart with that, but, you know, we have to take this into account. So if it's 4 years and all of the, what we have here starts from like January 1st, 2022, it means it's gonna be like December 2025. So, you know, if we're gonna have a similar bull run to what we've had in 2021 and 2017, meaning like the very peak is gonna be like in the late part of 2025, this is gonna get unlocked very kind of close to this times, okay? So if anybody is watching this video in 2025 or closer to the end of 2025, please know about that, okay? The reserve, you know, it's gonna be like all of this portion of PYR tokens, whatever the price in 2025 is gonna get unlocked in 2026. So it's something you have to consider and know, okay? So yeah, so when it comes to the shorter time frames, not 2025, 2023, 2024, you know, this amount is not really that this amount is not significant at all. This also seems to not be super significant because we already have a lot of history, right? So this has started in January 1st of 2022. Obviously the price corrected in a big way because we've had a bull run, and then like the bear market started. But generally you can see like probably all of these people still, you know, were receiving their tokens, and you see we're still in the same range. So bottom line, guys, when it comes to tokenomics, okay, this team allowance, staking pool, and again, if anyone can comment on that, that will be super helpful. Generally, tokenomics also look pretty solid to me when it comes to the, you know, like receiving all, in terms of like reducing all of the sell pressure so that PYR can really moon, okay? Because like if you have too many people who dump, it will be very hard to moon, really, right? So let's really sum it up before we go to the price prediction, okay? So we said being in this range, fantastic. PYR outperforms Cardano, Solana, Avalanche, absolutely amazing, okay? Volume is also still pretty high, that's great. On-chain, also higher than 2023 is higher than 2022, amazing. Tokenomics, also pretty great for at least 2024 or the beginning of 2025. All of this is absolutely great. And now, guys, finally, let's really try and understand like what could be the peak of PYR in the next bull run. And again, none of this is financial advice as always. So generally being number 300 right now, Vulcan Forged, you could say like they're a mid-sized project in in gaming, okay, in crypto gaming. So Sandbox, for example, and Decentraland and Axie Infinity, they're the biggest, and they're like in the top 50. Well, maybe Axie Infinity not anymore, but generally they're in the top 100. So Vulcan Forged is smaller than them, smaller than Gala and a few others, but it's still a lot bigger than many other gaming coins that collapsed in a big way. So that's pretty cool, okay? So like even the fully diluted right now. So, but like if we actually remove this 35% here, you know, still the circulating supply probably gonna get to approximately 35 million. Okay, so let's just say current market cap is around 100 million market cap, just to like round things up. Okay, so let's say if the market cap of PYR today is 100 million. Okay, we just know that at least in the last bull run, okay, the number one gaming coin of 2021 was Axie Infinity, and the market cap it reached at the time was 10 billion. Okay, now obviously we don't know if PYR is gonna be number one in crypto gaming by the next bull run, but just remember that actually in the last bull run, anything related to crypto gaming was like just absolutely new. Like in 2020, almost nobody really knew about gaming coins. Like me personally, I only knew about Engine Coin and Decentraland. I didn't even deem it as a gaming coin. It was like a metaverse, but whatever, you know, like generally the gaming coin category didn't even exist in a way, even though like some project did exist, but like people didn't know it as a category in 2020. So in 2021 was really the very first bull run of crypto gaming, but like you know, most games weren't even active. Axie Infinity, the only game that was active still, like it's a, you know, it was like the very first major bull run for any gaming coin. That's the bottom line. So like 10 billion, like, you know, if we'll have really a lot of successful games by 2025 and 6 and so on, you know, 10 billion is gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like the next number one coin is gonna outperform 10 billion in a huge way. So obviously we don't know if PYR is gonna be the absolute number one. That will be like the absolute super degen kind of prediction, right? But generally, I just think like any project that is good, that keeps developing, that, you know, and as we can see, has good on-chain stuff, has good tokenomics stuff, has good volume stuff, okay? Generally, guys, like for Vulcan Forged, honestly, again, in my personal opinion, it's not a very degen prediction at the moment. We'll have to keep looking what happens with PYR later. But generally, guys, from 100x from here, so let's say to reach like $360, to me, it doesn't seem very degen. Like outperforming that, yeah, that will be a optimistic one. And yeah, and I mean, I will even say that, you know, like even a 50x, like maybe like a 5x from here, excuse me, 2x less than what Axie Infinity has done. Even anything really from the 10x to 99x looks to me relatively easy. Okay, it's a big range. Okay, it's really difficult to calculate coins like that that are so early, and you know, like basically they almost didn't really have a significant bull run because they were like created only in the like mid 2021, right? So yeah, like when it comes to the price prediction, my bottom line, guys, is that let's put it like this: like anything between 10x to 50, 60x, I think it's like really decent possibility. Non-financial advice, but at least the way I see it. Then 100x, you know, kind of reaching what Axie Infinity reached last time. 100x also doesn't look way too crazy personally to me. It's like, I would even say for me personally, it's like the mid-range of the prediction. And of course, if PYR will even outperform many other coins, and if it will, like, you know what I mean, if PYR will become a top 50 coin in the future, and will be kind of on par with Sandbox, Decentraland, and stuff like that, then, guys, of course, it can be even more than 100x, which is absolutely crazy, you know, guys, because there's one more thing that I actually want to lastly mention, okay? And this is super important, okay? If you guys made it this far, please listen to the next section in the video, okay? Look, sometimes people look on the past performance of coins, okay, and they see like 1000x, for example, for Shiba, right? Shiba did even more than 1000x, right? Or Matic, or excuse me, or Axie Infinity actually also did like more than 1000x, okay? But guys, there's something super important that, like, has to be taken into account, okay? Which most people don't talk about, and that's why I want to share it with you and kind of give you this sort of general alpha when it comes to crypto, okay? So look, Shiba, for example, okay, like technically, yes, it has done like, I think even more than a 10,000x. It was like the absolute best performing coin of the last bull run, and maybe one of the absolutely best performing coins of all time. Like it was absolutely stunning what Shiba Inu has done. But look, if we go back to the times, okay, of 2020, before the last bull run, look at this, January 3rd, 2021, volume $1. You know what I mean? And like here, you know, when it was mooning, like when it was doing like a 2x out of nowhere, the volume was like in the 5 figures, okay, like 14k or 80k, like just in one day, you know what I mean, in 24 hours. Like it's not like, probably it's not like just one person buying all of that, some people buying and selling, but just generally, like, look at how low the volume was here. Like it was absolutely dead. Like that's why Shiba Inu did more than a 10,000x, because my bottom line, guys, is that with the liquidity that probably they had here at the time, and with look how much the volume, look how much very little volume was moving the price. Like probably, like if you would have bought Shiba for like $100 here, you would probably move the price quite a lot. Okay, meaning it was really like you know what I mean. It's not like you could invest $10,000 here with Shiba Inu and then make a 10,000x and reach like 100 million or whatever. Okay, no, it wasn't possible. Like if you'll be investing here at 10,000 at Shiba Inu, you'll obliterate the price and you'll take it like you'll alone you will do like a 10x. Like somebody will buy before you. If you buy like a $10,000 approximately, you will do like a 10x or a 5x for the previous people. You know what I mean? So it's extremely important to understand that many of the coins, like Shiba Inu, that did more than 1,000x, they just were extremely small and had like super low liquidity, and you just couldn't really invest like more than $1,000, okay, in order to do this 1,000x, okay? Like even $100 probably moved the price quite a lot, okay? So, okay, like 10,000x is absolutely amazing, but like from $10, you know what I mean? It's not really like $1,000 or more that did 1,000x. Okay, that's my bottom line. So PYR, because at least today, at least the way I see it, non-financial advice, if PYR has a decent potential to do 100x, okay, with a liquidity, like if you, so what it shows us here is that you can buy like 50k US dollars of PYR without like much problem. Okay, you won't move the price a lot, and probably arbitrage will kind of take care of it. And you know what I mean? Like if anybody buys 50k USD of Vulcan Forged right now, they'll move it maybe to 3.7. And obviously it's not smart to do it as a market buy, right? You can, you know what I mean? You can like separate it like 2k, 2k, 2k or something like that. Maybe 5k to make it a little bit faster. So bottom line, guys, is that, for example, buying here 50k or 100k in PYR, non-financial advice, right? Like you will not move the price much. So like you can literally do that. And then 100x from a 10k is a million, right? Or from 100k is 10 million. You know what I mean? So like it's super duper important, because like 100x on a coin that is also established, okay, like Shiba Inu, anybody, you see, like nobody was buying that. So like it was a gamble at these times, you know, like maybe here when it mooned enough and enough people knew about it, like maybe if you were able to catch it somewhere here, you could have done 100x or so. But of course it was also very difficult because it was already the bull run, so like you had to be very fast and stuff. So anyway, bottom line, guys, is that it's something super important that I wanted to share here that not many people discuss when they talk about the 1,000x, the 10,000x. What's important is like how much liquidity there is, how much can you buy, okay? And actually, if you still go for a coin that has low liquidity and you still choose to buy a lot of this coin, you may have issues in the future. Like let's say you want to sell finally in the bull run, maybe not all of it, but let's say half of it. Like you will find it very, very difficult because the liquidity would still be relatively low. Like even if it will be higher than what it was, it's still gonna be very low, and you'll have a really big bag for a coin that still doesn't have that much liquidity, relatively speaking. So like let's say in theory, if PYR ever, you know, was worth like 1 cent or something, right? And this is the liquidity now. Let's say you have like now $10 million worth of PYR. you know what I mean, it will be very, very difficult for you to sell. You can sell, but it will take you a very long time, and you probably don't want to affect the price and scare everyone else. So bottom line, you know, just at least in my personal strategy, I actually like coins like that a lot more, okay, or even bigger coins, like the big coins or the mid-sized coins that have, like, you know, nice liquidity, and you can buy a very decent amount of coins, and yeah, then you will be able to sell also without an issue. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense, guys. Hopefully you found this video valuable and it has helped you. I was AR7 Crypto once again, and yeah, guys, I'm here every single Sunday, so you're very welcome to subscribe for the rest of the videos I'm gonna be doing before the bull run. And yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and a fantastic week ahead, and cheers as always.